What's good, y'all? We got another one. And another one. Like DJ Khaled. Yeah. Anyways. So today, we got a new video coming for y'all. We're going to talk about erasing whiteness. I know there's some people out there that's curious about that. Black people and white people. And everybody else. We're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about being great. Because that's something that's been burning me up. And we're going to watch a little bit of Karen. We're going to watch another Karen video. She's going to break down what whiteness is, but I'm going to explain my way of what I think about erasing it. Other than that, here we go, baby. You know what it is. We want you to be an activist. Okay. First off, let's just get to the nitty-gritty. You know what I'm saying? If y'all been watching my videos, then y'all have noticed in my commentary that whenever I mention humans, a lot of times I say niggas. It might make people uncomfortable, you know, but I do that for a reason, okay? And the reason why I do that is because y'all all niggas to me. You know why? Because it's humans. We all humans, and that's what it is, man. The phenotypes is just, it's a cultural thing, and we're gonna talk about that today. They're gonna break it down in the video, but the reason why I call everybody niggas is that's my way of erasing whiteness, okay? Because now we all on level playing field, right? You know, instead of putting a race on the application, the job application, just put niggas. Nah, don't do that. But what I'm saying is, like, y'all know, like, you know, you fill out a job application or whatever. I don't know, the census, I don't know. I don't even want to think about that too much. But they got all them little lines where they ask you what you are: Pacific Islander, white, not Hispanic. It's all a bunch of bullshit, really. So that's why I say, you know, we could simplify it all. We all niggas. And then, anyways, that moves on to something a little bit more serious, you know. What's been bothering me this week is, you know, what bothers me about this world is that, like, people seem to be, like, they don't respect effort. They don't expect the grind. They don't expect work, you know? And when I mean work, I don't mean going to work for whoever the fuck. That's slavery. That's not what I'm talking about. You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the work I'm talking about. Work I'm talking about is the work that people do for fulfillment for themselves, for them to make themselves great, you know? That's what I'm talking about. So you got, let's say you're a runner, right? A guy I work with, he's a runner for university. And I asked him about it, and I was, you know, I was like, you want your team to win, right? Yeah. You want to do as good a job as you can, right? Help your team. Don't want to let your team down, right? Yeah, that's true. So what do you do to you know, to make that happen? You know, focus on little bitty details. Grind. Watch YouTube videos. Little bitty freaking details of how they pull off, how they stop, how their ankles, how their arms move, you know. Try to replicate that shit for yourself. Getting out there on the grind and just pushing that shit. Pushing it. I don't know. I guess I'm all over the place. What I'm trying to say is that the world doesn't respect people that are great. A lot of people feel like you can just roll over out of bed and just be great. Ain't no person out there in the world rolled over out of the bed and was just great. It doesn't happen. People aren't born great. It doesn't happen. Get that shit out of y'all head. That's just a way to keep y'all from pushing, you know. And then it's an excuse to give up. It's an excuse to say, you know, I can't do it. You know, he was born that way. He was born with that. No, 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 no. Every last one of them, probably no exceptions, grinded for years at whatever craft they have, whatever they're great at. They wanted to be great. They wanted to be the best in the world. So they was like, I'm finna be the best at this shit right here. I'm finna, you know, ain't nobody gonna be able to beat me at this, whatever it is. So what they do, they grind. They conditioned. They learned. They educated themselves. They studied. They focused. They put in years and years and years and years. Work, effort, dedication, concentration, motivation, bro. Freaking, freaking, you know, meditation. I mean, come on. I don't know. I'm really upset. I got really upset because I feel like people, you know, they don't respect the grind. It really hurts my feelings when people say, oh, they just had that shit handed to them, or, you know, they was born with it, or whatever, or it hurts me so bad. Or it was Illuminati, or the devil, or whatever the hell. All of that is bullshit, bruh. All of that is bullshit. All of that is bullshit. They grinded. That's how these people got where they was. They probably did some shit they didn't want to do. Now there's different levels to this. This is complicated, but it's all about what you're trying to do and what you want to accomplish. If you want to accomplish something, then you gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the grind. You need to find out all the information about that thing, and you need to get up in the morning. You need to go to sleep thinking about that thing. Everything you do need to be aiming towards being better at that thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing that, you know you're not gonna be the best, right? 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 Ask LeBron. I don't know. Ask Venus and Serena. I don't know. Ask Tiger Woods. I don't know. I mean, whatever examples you wanna, names you wanna say, people that you consider are great. Ask them. Ask them. Or watch their interviews or whatever the hell. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet they're gonna tell you they put in fucking grind mode. So what I'm saying to y'all is, please respect the grind. Respect the grind, bruh. These people that know a lot of shit, these people that are able to do a lot of shit, they had to put in a lot of work to get there, bruh. You can't, like the stuff I know, the stuff that's in here, bruh. Bruh. Anyways, you can't just wake up. You can't just wake up and be great. You gotta grind. You gotta want it. You gotta want it, want it. Want it, want it. Let me breathe. I know I didn't explain that good, but I'm going to go on into Karen explaining whiteness and all of this. Really, it's not Karen, it's her guest. She always has great guests. This lady's a doctor. She's beautiful too. She has a bit of an accent. But y'all check it out. Like I say, we'll go into this and then we'll talk about it. Oh, no. Wait. My bad. I got something better for y'all first before we do that. Hold on. My bad. Before we do that, let's do this. Where's the fucking... Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. I turned it down. Where the fuck is that shit? Oh, shit. Alright.
African American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't. So say it. Say what? Say the word you want to say. I'm not saying that I want to say it, I'm just saying that I can't. So you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you. Okay.
Oh, shit, bruh. We gotta play it. Let's play that again. I don't know if y'all...
American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't. So say it. Say what? Say the word you want to say. I'm not saying that I want to say it, I'm just saying that I can't. So you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Wait. One more time,
African
y'all.
American rappers sing N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't. So say it. Say what? Say the word you want to say. I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't. So you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
I don't know, bro. That's is hilarious to me. I know it probably make a lot of people uncomfortable. It is what it is. Freaking hilarious. Anyways, let's go to Karen. We're gonna talk about all this stuff. Hopefully, if I got enough space on this thing.
My sister from across the pond. Now, we're having an American conversation, but I imagine it's a global conversation, right? And because whiteness is a political and social structure designed for
Yep.
to stay in power, right? It is a fairly new. You did a whole
Right.
dissertation on the
I'm gonna
coming of
educate y'all.
whiteness. Like, when
Please
did
pay
whiteness
attention,
come?
you
So let's
guys.
talk about that, because I think even so-called white people don't understand that they're part of a political assassination on black folk. Like, you're
Like they
part of
don't
something,
know.
right? So break that down, Dr. DeWitt.
Understand? This is
I
for
would
all
say
of
it's
y'all.
a political.
Listen.
Actually, I would say it is a wholesale assassination on the world, not just restricted to even just an assassination on black folk. So whiteness, we believe, we're taught that race is just what we are. It's just a biological truth. But when you actually study whiteness and
And I
blackness,
study this because I'm an anthropology student.
see that the idea of white people, the notion that white people exist as a race, is so recent
In
in human
anthropology,
history.
it's
It's
not a thing.
only first it first appears in the 17th century, in the late 1600s. Before that, when people say, okay, there's been racism for millennia, that is emphatically untrue.
Not
The
true.
type of racism that exists today, anti-blackness, white
It was
superiority,
created.
white supremacy, that type of racism
Slavery.
has only existed since the 17th century,
Which coincides with the Portuguese heading to this continent and discovering, gold, and there's all this other, black bodies. Wait a minute. We could, let's put them in the holes of the ship along with the gold and all the other
All
things
about
that
the
we're getting from this continent.
economics. That's what y'all gotta understand.
Oh my
Everything
goodness.
comes down to
Yes,
economics.
it is.
Everything.
No, I'm just saying there's a direct correlation between the transatlantic slave trade and this thing called whiteness.
There is a direct correlation. It is no coincidence that the idea of a white race existing, and from its earliest origins, enshrined into that notion of a white race, is this idea of alleged superiority. Whiteness is invented to enshrine a notion of white superiority and to justify black subjugation. And it is no coincidence that it first is invented in the English colonial Caribbean. And there are two primary reasons why the notion is introduced and why it becomes codified into law. So what happens is it's introduced through a series of legislation, slave codes, that within these slave codes start to enshrine human rights for people who are racialized as white, while denying any recourse to rights or justice for people who become racialized as black. And what it does
it's a designation. It's like a.
so before
It's
this
like a.
concept of whiteness, there are of course people who look different to each other. There are of course people from Europe.
It's like
there
a
are,
social
of course, people
structure,
from Africa.
caste
They
structure,
have different complexions.
artificially
They have different
created.
phenotypes. They have different hair textures. But the idea that those physical features have any intrinsic meaning or value is what is introduced with this idea of a white race. And it happens for two main reasons. And as I said, it's no coincidence that it happens in the colonial Caribbean in the 1600s. Two things are happening. Thousands, at this stage, thousands, of course it becomes millions, but at this stage, thousands of Africans, are being kidnapped and forced to work on the plantations in these new
If you want to
colonies.
understand the world,
Vast and obscene wealth
understand the
being
Caribbean.
generated in order to justify the brutal exploitation of these people. A narrative is needed. What the idea of a white race and a black race does is to create this natural order where white people, are the natural lords and masters of everything, and blackness becomes associated with all of these inferior characteristics, and this justifies this is a form of dehumanization that justifies the enslavement that these economies are becoming so dependent on. But the other thing that it does, the other thing that's happening in that historical moment that is really interesting is specifically in Barbados, where we see it first. Is first of all, we see these slave codes in Barbados, then we see them in Jamaica, and then shortly after we see them in Virginia, before the United States exists, actually, in what will become the United States. And then from Virginia, they are copied in other parts of North America. But what the necessity is to justify the enslavement of Africans, black people that will be known as black people. But it's also because you're seeing in Barbados, in the early days of that colony, there were Irish indentured laborers. I make a point of saying indentured laborers.
The Irish story is interesting.
They were indentured laborers.
I think they were black at one time. I ain't gonna lie. I think they made themselves white over time. This is my speculation. This is not me coming from academics. This is just my speculation.
The notion of whiteness and blackness existing actually saw the English landlords as a shared enemy. There were a series of uprisings where indentured Irish and enslaved African came together and attacked the landlords. That was very, very threatening to the power structure. The second thing that the idea of race, whiteness, and blackness did, it dehumanized black people, but it also prevented those coalitions from emerging that were happening between
important part.
Oppressed Europeans, indentured Irish, and enslaved Africans by creating this wedge, by creating the idea that prevented those type of coalitions from emerging. So the indentured Irish started to see their shared interest with other white people, even if they were white people who exploited.
Even the ones who exploited them.
We're talking with Dr. Emma DeBerry.
That's so heavy.
She's the author of Don't Touch My Hair, as well as What White People Can Do Next. And I find this, as infuriating as, Bob Johnson offering himself up as the first black billionaire. This is a modern time. But everything that you're saying undermines, because Hannibal, if I'm remembering the Carthage, Hannibal and the Moors occupied Spain for how long? The Moors, the black
y'all need to know y'all history.
Shakespeare.
That's why they all got dark hair. And that's why the white people don't like Italians.
Like colonizing, basically. There's a lot of
they feel like they're dirty. Like they've been tainted.
I'm just saying, like, there's no pure race of people except the inbred British. Sorry. I said it out loud. They want to keep all of the wealth. They're like the Vatican, but they have. So anyway,
I have to say,
that was kind of mean. I ain't gonna lie.
A mongrel nation. Do not believe the hype.
No, I know. The queens and kings. The monarchy. Very important. But yeah, not talking about the Brits as a whole, but where the power resides. Dr. Emma, I'm thinking about it defies logic to have whites and blacks when Spain, Portuguese, Italy.
It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
At some point, and there was a whole lot of miscegenation. How do you even justify that? But that's not what I'm
anyway.
866-801-8255. I find it fascinating to sit in this for a second. That this whole thing was constructed so that whites and blacks, Irish, and you were born in Dublin, Ireland, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm Irish. I was born and raised in Ireland. My mom's Irish. As soon as I was born, I actually moved to Atlanta. So I spent the first few years of my life in the States. But we moved back to Ireland, which was a short, sharp shock. Ireland in the 80s, being one of the only black people in the
They're going to say some more important stuff, so I got to let it play because I don't know where it's at.
There's a Black Madonna. I'm sorry.
It's coming, though, I think.
I just didn't know about her. But yeah, that's why the Irish history is, particularly interesting to me. But then also that tension between when you grow up in Ireland and the kind of anti-imperial, anti-colonial sense that permeates the culture in Ireland. But then when you look at the history of Irish Americans, particularly, in the 1800s, from the 1840s, when the Irish are flooding into America, fleeing the famine, it's not a natural famine, it's a famine that is caused by British imperialism.
Kind of happening to Venezuela and Cuba. Y'all see that shit? It's going crazy in the news. South
So when you
Africa is
see
going
what's
crazy
happening
right
at the
now.
moment, where the Irish are flooding into the States, escaping the famine, you would imagine that there might be something of a natural sympathy between the Irish and Black Americans. But no, what you actually see is, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, a strong investment into whiteness and white supremacy from the Irish, to very much
That shit
separate
crazy.
themselves from Black people and to enter the material spoils
That's
that
so
are
crazy.
afforded by
Being
initiation
white.
into whiteness. Because when the Irish turn up, they're not automatically perceived as white. They are perceived as other and lesser than. They do experience discrimination.
Yep.
But they really, invest in the project of
That's why they the
whiteness
most
in their
racist
own material
ones.
gain.
They the
So I'm
hardest
really
ones.
interested
They the
in the
first one
States.
to
So
call
I'm
you a
interested
nigga
in
and
that
everything.
tension between, being oppressor
Perpetrating.
and oppressed.
Just like good old boy
That's
niggas.
classic, and it's why they became the patty rollers, which are now the police. Became an easy transition. But I'm always fascinated by who gathered the people
Token
to make the
Negroes.
plan. Like somebody had to gather. We know that they're, right now there's Bilderberg. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, where they are planning for the next 50, 100 years of y'all's life.
The
But
Bilderberg
then,
group.
then they planned, they had a meeting, and they divvied up Africa, right? King Leopold got this. These people, the African
Y'all don't know who
players,
King
the
Leopold was. Y'all need to
South Africa,
fucking
the
look that
British,
shit
The
up.
scramble for
Ghana.
Africa.
Right. They had a meeting though. We know that they had a meeting.
They had a meeting in Berlin. Yeah.
Right. Ironically. Hello, Nazis.
The Berlin Conference.
Yes. Who had the meeting to come up with whiteness? Like,
Ooh.
can we pinpoint, like, when was that meeting had and who led it?
So
That person should be immortalized right
She's
next
gonna
to
explain this very, very well. Listen.
No. I would imagine that when it was first so basically it's 1661 is the first time we see it written into law. And then the next time we see it in law, we see it in law then in Maryland. Oh God, I always say this wrong. We always want to say Maryland, but I feel you guys say Maryland.
Maryland, yes.
Maryland.
Yes. Say it however you want to. We'll follow your lead. Sure. Made up names.
Fake shit. That's why I don't remember nobody's names.
Written into
Suck at remembering
law
names.
there in, again, the late 1600s, and it's actually to stop miscegenation, as it's called. And then the next time you see it is in Virginia through this series of slave codes. And I think what happens is these slave codes are introduced in different parts of the Americas. And somebody in another colony will be like, oh, they're working really well. That's a great idea. Why don't we introduce those slave codes here as well? These ones that like just completely ensure that the people who are racialized as Black, people of African descent, have no protection or rights under law. So I don't know if it starts off as a master plan. I think it happens in one place. It works really well. It's effective and it spreads. The idea spreads like wildfire. I say like
That's how everything happens.
whiteness is like
It's a gradual thing that just kind of catches on with time.
What's crazy about that is
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Drew
He ain't had a chance to talk this whole time. He just jumped in there.
Dr. Kabiri, when you're talking, it makes me think about how history just repeats itself, right? Like one of the things that I've always said is that one of the things that always has baffled me is poor white Republicans, right? Like that people would be so invested in whiteness that they would vote against their own self-interest, right? Because they feel like whiteness is gonna always be the air cover.
That shit is crazy.
Even if it's not for them, for the next generation. But you also see exactly what you just said in terms of how, these these anti-voting laws, they worked in Georgia.
Mm.
Let's take those exact
That's
same
what's happening
words
right now.
and enter them to legislation in Texas and in Wisconsin and in these other
The
places.
Texas legislature just
When you
left.
think about
They went to
how
Washington D.C. just so
history repeats itself
they won't
and
pass
this
the
whole
fucking voting
idea
laws
of
that they're trying to
whiteness is
pass right
really
now.
just a rinse and repeat series of strategies. What are the strategies that you've seen as you're looking from, even if it's just from the anthropological lens, that where whiteness is upended or thwarted? Are there
I can
any
answer that.
places in history where you see it's clearly thwarted? That strategy is thwarted, so that we can replicate that.
So I've seen attempts.
Well, academically,
maybe at
it's
doing that
thwarted.
with
It's just that socially, people have
those
freaking,
attempts will be
they
thwarted.
have an
I think
attachment
what you
to it.
just said about it being rinse and repeat, that really highlights and that's such a great example, and it really highlights the necessity of knowing history so we can see. Oh,
Plus,
this
they have an
pattern is re-emerging.
economic
This is them doing
reason
that same old
to
shit that
keep
they've
it
been
going,
doing so successfully
so that
for
they can keep
centuries.
passing the money down to their
And if you
children.
know the history, you have a greater understanding. You have a greater understanding of what it is that is happening. So I think you're better positioned to create, challenges to it. But one of the things that I do think is effective is, well, the book is called From Allyship to Coalition.
All that money. They still got that money from slavery, y'all. They still got that money, bro. They've been passing it down to their kids all this time, bro.
Anti-racism. I find it problematic for all sorts of reasons that I expand on in the book. But coalition, to me, solidarity is subversive. What I say about allyship is that allyship offers charity at the expense of solidarity. It is solidarity
After this point, I'm gonna wrap it.
that is subversive. Division actually isn't subversive. Race was created to ensure division. When you look at somebody like Fred Hampton, who I talk about in the book, and the fact that, in the 1960s, he had the vision to create this rainbow coalition, between the Black Panthers, the Young Patriots, and the Young Lords. The fact
That's why he was so powerful. Y'all don't even know. Because y'all just want to make it all racial, but that's the history that they gave y'all. The Black Panthers wasn't.
They seem like very, very unlikely bedfellows.
They were very.
You could see that while
It was really like the Poor People's Campaign, kind of like
not experience racism, they're white people. They
what
did
Martin Luther
experience
King was doing too.
and they did experience diminished life opportunities.
Because that's the great power. Once you get the poor blacks and the poor whites to work together, nigga, it's a wrap. The Hispanics gonna jump right in there.
The idea was to build this coalition that brings on board so many people who identify shared interests that you can create a mass movement that, that encompasses so many people.
Because we can take care of ourselves. We don't need the government. We have the money. That's why they taking the money from us with the taxes and shit. That's how they have the power, because they keep taking the money. But we can use the money as a community.
But that needs to be your energy, because that's what coalition looks like. That's what.
Damn, I feel bad. I probably made y'all watch her whole fucking video, bro. But and then it was heavy with a bunch of history and shit in it. I apologize for that. I really do, but because I'm trying to keep this channel, not so heavy. But you got to sometimes. Sometimes you got to lift some weight, and that's what I was talking about at the beginning. About being great. You want to be great? Do you? If you don't, there's no judgment. No judgment. But if you do want to be great, you're going to have to do some heavy lifting. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to say, what I would like to see is activists in the community, people making a difference, people making a change, people getting out there. And like, some of the stuff she said, I think I should try to explain, like her last point about the subversive, hold on, let me see, because my brain.
Solidarity that is empathy between the Irish
No.
and Black. One of the things that I do think is effective is, the book is called From Allyship to Coalition.
Yeah, because like she said, we got to work together. But the point where she was.
You just said about it being rinse and repeat.
Subversive. Hold
great
on.
example at pattern is re-emerging coalition because I reject offers charity
Oh, there it goes. When she was talking about charity,
actually
and
isn't
then
subversive.
I don't know.
Race was created to ensure.
Hold on, let me see.
What I say about allyship is that allyship offers charity at the expense of solidarity.
There.
It is solidarity that is subversive.
Charity at the expense of solidarity. So then that's kind of like, and I don't know if y'all heard the part where they was talking about the Irish and them being cops. All right, try to understand. Try to understand. If you was trying to get close to the state, to the power, to the whiteness, or whatever, being in the cops and the military and shit would be a good way to do it. And also beating up on the people that they want you to that they want to be on the lower level also put you in, in their happy, in their likeness, or whatever you want to say, makes them happy, so like that's what I'm saying. So that's pretty damn deep. So like what I'm saying is, what she's saying is the one of the comments, it was Karen, I think it was Karen who made the comment about the Irish being cops. And if y'all people who know what I'm talking about, y'all know. And what the doctor was saying was that, that's a way to get close to power, but it's not, how does she put it, it's not
Division actually isn't subversive. Race was created to ensure division. When you look at somebody like Fred Hampton, who I talk about,
the point of it is to divide everybody, to put everybody in categories. That way we can be fighting with each other about this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, they leaving out the back with all the fucking money. It's all economics. It's all economic. Please, please, please hear that. Please hear that, okay? The social shit is just the little fucking, like I say, the zombie robot shit where they be pulling y'all fucking strings and triggering y'all to be fucking mad about this, that, and the other. And I'm talking to everybody on both sides. They just be fucking pulling y'all fucking strings on some social issue ass bullshit. And it's not nothing that even really fucking, I ain't gonna say it doesn't matter. It's just that it's in the big picture, it's small. And they're making it big, 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 big. Meanwhile, they're leaving out the back without everything, bro. They robbing you. Everybody, y'all should be mad. They robbing you. Left and right robbing you. I don't want to get my fucking channel took down talking about fucking taxes and shit, but y'all know y'all paying taxes so many different ways, bro. You got taxes hidden inside the taxes, behind the taxes, bro. I'm telling you, it's all mixed up. How much you pay for gas again? Man, look. They robbing you. Basically, they robbing you. And y'all just happily accepting this shit. You know what I'm saying? While they selling you these trinkets. We like shiny things. Humans, this is what I've learned. It's something I've come to accept over time. We like shiny things. Humans, we like shiny things. It is what it is, But you just gotta fucking face reality. That shiny thing that you have is not giving you real satisfaction. It's all short term. It's all just sensationalized. Like I say, everything is sensationalized. 30-second, 5-second clips to sensationalize you, get you emotional. Meanwhile, they're robbing you. It's got to be something going on. I know everybody in their heart, deep down, in their stomach, they feel it's something going on. It's something happening, right? It's spiritual. It's a spiritual war going on. It really is. But when you boil it down to the simplest terms within, like let's say our social structure or whatever, it's economics. It's all economics. It's basically you just getting robbed and raped, and you're accepting it because you don't even know you're getting robbed and raped because they keeping you fucking ignorant as fuck and they lying to you. And when someone like me comes to you and tell you the truth, then you mad. And that's that cognitive dissonance that I get to finish up in the other video. Is you get hurt. It hurts so bad when someone tells you, you've been lied to, and then because now because you feel like you're stupid now. You're like, oh, and a lot of people don't want to, go through that. You have to go through it though. You have to go through it. You feel stupid. But that doesn't mean you're stupid. They lied to you. They was wrong. They wronged you. Okay? You're not stupid. You're not stupid when someone doesn't tell you the information and you make a decision based on the information you was given. That's not stupid. That's not being stupid. You just wasn't aware of all the information. So you made a bad decision. Period. Okay? So don't beat yourself up. You just have to like, okay, all right. Just like, okay, I really believe this. I took this all the way down to the bits of my stomach, all the way to my heart. You know, I really took this in to be truth. And now, you know, I'm hearing stuff that's chipping and chipping, chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping away at it. And it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Now I don't even know what my identity is. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what my political stance is. I don't know what race I am. I don't know what religion I am. I don't know what's my nationality, my ethnicity. I'm completely lost. That's really tough. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough. But uh, I can tell you, it's beautiful on the other side. And a lot of those questions, there's still there. You know, the answers aren't there yet. You know, maybe they'll come, maybe they won't. But I'll tell you what, on the other side, it's beautiful. On the other side, it's beautiful. You know why? Because you can see things, you can predict things, you can understand things, you can feel things, you can make things, you can create things, you can grow things. If you want to, you can manipulate things. God body, baby. God body. Okay? You want to get to God body? You want to be great? I know y'all do. Anyways, this video is long. I'm going to wrap it up, I think. Peace to everyone. I really hope y'all learned something today because that's the point of this. I want you to be an activist. This is not, this is shout out to everybody. The left, the right, whether you call yourself a liberal, Democrat, Republican. I mean, you know, my brain is all over the place. Y'all know what I mean. Everybody all over the spectrum. And then, you know, racially too. Everybody. I'm talking to everybody. All of y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is, you getting raped. Okay? You getting raped and you getting robbed. And they using this racial shit to confuse your mind so you can focus on social issues and be sensationalized and turn you into a zombie robot and with your robotic reactions to everything. And now that's how they control you. Meanwhile, they're leaving out the back door with every fucking thing. I mean, the planet's going to shit. Infrastructure's going to shit. I mean, come on. They rioting in Cuba, Venezuela, South Africa, Haiti. Whew, I don't want to say any wrong ones, but it's a lot of places where people are rioting right now while I'm making this video. Like I say, the people, you know, you can rob us. You can rob us. You can rape us. You can smash us with your machine. You can keep us in your cog. You can do that. You can, and you have been for a long time. But I tell you what, as long as it's humans on this planet, the power goes to the people.